Good morning, everybody. I hope this finds you well. I hope this finds you grounded and safe and feeling loved. If you're anywhere in the world right now, you know that there's a lot of unrest. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of anger, heartache, and rightfully so. A gentleman, George Floyd, lost his life at the hands of a police officer, and it didn't have to be that way. He died a gruesome and slow death, a slow and painful death. And we're tired. We're tired of it. We're sick of it. We feel like there is no justice. We feel like, Black lives don't matter. That's the message that's being sent to us. That's the message that's being told. We saw a gentleman not too long ago minding his own business, jogging down the street, and shot dead in the street. Shot dead. And it took days for these people to even be arrested for his murder. And they were trying to find every reason. Well, what was the reason for what they did that? Like, they wouldn't just kill them for no reason. And it's like, no, this is the reality that Black people have had to live with for our entire stay in the United States. You're labeled a criminal before you can even have due process, have a trial, And then if you die at the hands of a cop who is not in a place to exact that process or that everybody deserves their day in court, and for a lot of people they have died before their day in court and also have been convicted or accused of doing things without any proof, without any what I'm saying, like, so that's a whole other conversation. But it's just been programmed in the mind of America clearly that Black lives don't matter, or if they die at the hands of a vigilante or of a cop, then they must have done something wrong. I saw a video a couple of days ago of this gentleman. I can't remember where it was. I want to say Texas. And he was on the ground in the front lawn with his hands up and screaming and crying that he's scared. And four cops were pointing their guns at him, just waiting for a reason to kill him. His 90-year-old grandmother had to come out and be like, okay, stop what you're doing. Like, his 90-year-old grandmother. And then she was treated so roughly and stuff like that. Whether she fell or whether they pushed her, it doesn't matter. Like, it was just total disrespect of the elders in our community. And so if you don't respect our elders, you for sure don't respect us. And that was just made very clear to me. And it's just sad because it's 2020. And we know this stuff has been going on for hundreds of years, right? Lynchings, being hung, Jim Crow, all this stuff has happened, and Black people have been aware of it, but America would like to forget it and like to imagine that, no, it's all fair now, everything's fine. But that's just not the case. It's just not the case. And if you choose to believe that, then you're choosing to be ignorant. You're choosing to be on the side of the oppressor. You're choosing not to be empathetic. You know what I'm saying? The fact that the Crown Act had to be even put out there, that Black people can wear their hair the way their hair grows out their head. That's not a problem for you? Like, that doesn't scream to you like, oh, discrimination. You know what I'm saying? Like, meanwhile, Susie has straight hair and it's looked at as more professional. These are even just little many reasons, many ways to show you that life for Black people in America is not the same, is not as privileged, is not as free as white people in America, or the majority. It's just not. And reeling it in a little bit, in 2016, there was a lot of unrest as well. This is just reminiscent of that year and of years before that, right? Years past. There were, specifically for this, there were two gentlemen who we were able to see with our own eyes them being killed. One was Philando Castile. He was in his car with his girlfriend and his child in the back. And he had a gun, but he had the right to carry that gun. And he let a cop know, hey, I have a gun, whatever, like, I'm just letting you know. And he was shot dead right next to his girlfriend and with his baby in the backseat. There was another gentleman out in Sterling. He was selling CDs outside of a convenience store, minding his own business, being an entrepreneur. And that's a whole other conversation. And cops literally shot him point blank over and over and over again. And that image of his lifeless body laying on the ground with this person on top of him treating him like some wild animal, some wild ape, is burned into my memory. And I was at work. I worked at a hospital, and I was pissed. I was angry. I was hurt. I was mourning the death of my people, and not just them, you know what I'm saying, but others who have come before them, others that have yet to die at the hands of cops, because I knew that wasn't going to be the end of it. I was mourning the fact that, my people were out there protesting and expressing their anger, which they had a right to be angry, expressing their anger, expressing their hurt and their pain, feeling voiceless, and people were condemning them and making them feel villainous. Even after all the stuff that happened this year, I was on Twitter, and I was debating with a few people, and we all know riots are happening. And would I be out there rioting? No. That's just, looting and stuff? No. But I get it. I understand. Why should I care about you, big business, when y'all don't care about our lives? Why should y'all, even with this whole bailout that happened, with, the CARES Act, maybe not that, but the stimulus checks, we were given $1,200. That's a joke. For a lot of people in this country. And for most people, that's not even 3 months rent. What are y'all doing? That was a slap in our face. And then you have the nerve to give these big businesses billions of dollars to bail out millions of dollars, to bail out their business. Why should I care about you, big business, when you're going to be taken care of? No one's coming to save us. No one's coming to take care of us. And the only reason why people are starting to listen, the only reason why this is gaining national coverage, honestly, in my opinion, is because people are rioting and looting. And even look at the narrative. Look at the focus. The focus is, trash buildings and things on fire, but you're not talking about the reason why it happened. And also that a lot of people have been planted in those movements and in those peaceful protests to start drama so that we look bad. That's a whole other conversation. But again, bringing it back, because I'm still kind of raw, still kind of fresh. But this song that I wrote back in 2016 is still relevant today, and it's heartbreaking. It was relevant in 1900. It was relevant 1950, 1960, 1970, 1980, 1990. The song was relevant then, it's relevant now. And it makes me feel like there's no hope here for Black folk. There's no hope. We can give statistics, like I did on Twitter, we can give statistics and facts, and people will still find a way to make us the wrong person, to make us the bad guy. I was talking to this gentleman about how we make up 20-something% of police brutality interactions or whatever, and we only make up 13% of the nation's population, right? And this is about, I can't remember what year this statistic came out, but either way, yes, the facts show we're 2.5 times more likely to be handled roughly, to be jailed, get longer sentences, all this other stuff, than white people. It's just a fact. It's literally a fact. And this gentleman tried to tell me, well, Black people are more likely to commit crime. I was like, what are you talking about? And he pulls up the FBI chart, and it shows that Black people statistically have been jailed more often, have been convicted of more crimes. And so I'm saying, you don't see the bias here? One, Black communities are policed more heavily than white communities. That's the first thing. So just like this testing that you all are saying, the numbers are going up because they're testing more. Well, that's because more, in same way, you want to apply that to coronavirus, but you don't want to apply that to Black people's lives and livelihood. Black people are policed more often than white communities. Black communities, I'm sorry. Black communities, especially low-income Black communities, are policed more heavily than white, well-to-do communities. It's a fact. It is a fact. And a lot of those police officers aren't even from that community. So they're already approaching these people as if they're criminals. Come on, and the fact that you invalidate my experience as a Black person shows that you don't even really want to know the truth. You want to live in this utopia where nothing's wrong, where nothing happens and everything's fine. And if you want to live there, that's fine, right? But don't invalidate my experience. And so I was at work, and I was just thinking about those two gentlemen in 2016, and I just started writing. I was at lunch, and I just started writing. I had to get it off my chest. And the first line that I wrote was, "We don't want no problems. We're just trying to live." And honestly, that's how I feel. Most, and again, I'm going to say it, most black people be minding their business. Be minding their business. They be trying to go to work. They be trying to put food on the table. They be trying to do their own stuff. Like, they be minding their business. They just want to live. We want to live. And even if you talk about criminal activity, think about what was put in place for people to involve themselves in criminal activity. If you live in a low income place, if you're trying to get out of a situation and no one's giving you any opportunities, no one is allowing you to climb a ladder, people are telling you no to your job because of your hair, because of how you look, because of how you speak, because of like all these barriers that people put in place so that people like us don't have the same opportunities as other people. You're not finna tell me that redlining, which took place for hundreds of years at this point, like, you're not gonna tell me that the value of my house, because it doesn't have the same amount of value as yours, I'm given the same opportunity. I'm not, to create wealth. It's just not a fact. Like, that's just the truth. And all of these years of being set back and of being denied opportunities and being scared and being attacked, and for Jim Crow to come on, use critical thinking skills here. We do not have the same opportunities as the majority. It's a fact. It is a fact. It's a fact. And, people are just trying to live, even if they are indulging in criminal activity. Would I condone it? No, but I get it. I understand it. If no one's giving you the money, like, if people are paying you $10 an hour, that is a slap in the face, especially with the rise of the cost of living. Like, I get it why people involve themselves in criminal activity. You feel me? Because we need money. That's the bigger problem. We need money. We need opportunities. Like, and I know this might divide some people on here, and that is fine, and you can feel free to go. I don't mind it, but I'm just gonna speak facts. And people are just trying to live. That's it, and live well and live healthily. Like, in a lot of black communities, they live in food deserts, meaning that there's no grocery store within walking distance of their home. Me and my husband, at first, we lived in a food desert. Technically, there was no grocery store within walking distance, but there were corner stores, there were beauty supply stores, there were places, you know what I'm saying, like dollar stores, but there wasn't any fresh food. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why do you think we're more sick than other people, statistically? Why do you think that is? It's all a part of the systematic racism. It's all a part. It's not just people dying in the streets. Yes, this is what people are protesting, but they're rioting because they're angry. Y'all not listening. Y'all don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, years of oppression, years of missed opportunities. You know, like, slavery was not that long ago, y'all. Slavery was not that long ago. And the effects of slavery are still happening. The effects of oppression, the effects of racism, the effects of Jim Crow, the effects of, like, even the civil rights movement. Like, yes, that happened, and the bill got passed, but a lot of states did not implement this. They did not follow it. And even still today, they still find a way. Okay. So I wrote this song in 2016 on my job on lunch. We don't want no problems. We're just trying to live. Afraid to leave my house. And our kids can't just be kids. Kids being killed while they're playing outside in the park. Our kids can't just be kids. Even how they handle our children is different than how they handle the majority white children. They treat our children like they're grown, first of all, right? They treat them like they're grown. They see them, apparently they can't tell the difference between a 12-year-old child or a 10-year-old child and a 35-year-old man. Why is that? Why is that? Why do you shoot first and ask questions later? Why is that? That's a problem. And then it says, hear the cries in the air, the coldest summer nights, meaning like people going out and protesting and, screaming to the top of their lungs, like trying to be heard. There's another line in the song that says, afraid to know you scare me, afraid to look too proud, afraid to be alone with you because there's no ease in crowds. And that was to the cops. I'm afraid to be alone with the cop because I don't know what's going to happen and what you're going to tell your buddies if you kill me. I don't know. Afraid to look too proud because if I stand up for you in my right to stand up for you, you're going to take that as disrespect, which means you have fragile egos in the first place. And this is like a general statement, of course. But a lot of them have fragile egos. I was playing in the park with my friends, and it was after dark, and I did not know the park was closed after dark. The sign was up there, but it wasn't lit. And so me and my friends are playing in the park, and these park cops came up, and this woman yelling, get on the ground, put your hands on the back of the car, da da da. And so me and my friend were like, what are you doing? Like, why are y'all doing all this? I don't understand. Like, we really didn't understand what was going on. Don't talk back to me. Don't talk back. Excuse me, I'm an adult. Like, don't talk back to you. I'm asking for clarification. And to them, they would see that as disrespect, right? But really, I'm just asking, why are you busting in here all yelling like you busting a drug deal or something? We're out here playing hide and go seek in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're out here talking. Like, what is the big deal? We're minding our business. And my other friend was nervous. You know, he was like, just be compliant and just whatever, just keep it moving. And to me, I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand it at that point. And then once I saw for myself, like, how black people reasoning, you can't reason with these people. Like, there's no reason why if a man is on the ground putting his hands up, 4 cops should be pointing a gun at him. That lacks reasoning. Like, use your judgment, right? That's a poor judgment. That's a poor judgment. And if these people with poor judgment skills are out here running around rampant and like doing whatever the hell they want to do without any regard for anybody else's life, that scares me. That's frightening. The fact that people can kill people and get away with it because of a mistrial, or, oh, well, you know, there's some facts that, no, we saw the tapes, sis, bro, we saw the tapes and we're angry. I have to keep reeling myself back in, y'all. I'm sorry. And so I wrote that song about my feelings, about how I felt in America. I even wrote, I said, I understand this is just a song. No melody can right this wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just writing a song about my experience in being black in America. And I know this isn't going to fix everything, you know? And it makes me feel helpless. And that's what I wrote in the song. Life is gone within a blink. They've got guns, but they don't think. They don't think before they shoot. They don't assess the situation. They're like, first of all, like, okay, I understand every situation is not beneficial for cops. I get it. But the thing is, like, you signed up to protect and serve, right? Why are you so afraid? These people charging at you with no weapons, nothing like that, and you got to shoot them 17 times? What? Like, you're not shooting to, like, maim them. You're not shooting to hurt them. You're shooting to kill. And you're taught to shoot to kill. And to me, that's a problem. I'm just going to be honest. We should work on de-escalating situations. We should work, honestly, people who are in the community should work with that community, and not be over-policed by people outside of a different community who don't even know the culture, don't even know the problems or the issues in the community, because you can't protect and serve people you don't know. You can't protect and serve people you have no empathy for. That's just not how that works. And again, there are so many other things that could be done in the community, but the point of this video is just to share, or this podcast, whatever, is to share my experience and why I wrote that song. I'm going to share the song with you, and you can listen to the lyrics. And no, it doesn't fix everything. It doesn't fix everything, but I feel like art speaks to its time. And there are songs that we can listen to from years ago and still resonate with today. Just like Sam Cooke's Change Gonna Come. We can still resonate with that today. You know what I mean? Chain Gang. We can still resonate with that today. And it's just disgraceful, in my opinion, that the same thing that happened 400 years ago at this point is happening today. It just looks different. And I hope that you can take this. I hope that you can actually critically think about it, and before you get on defense and write a comment or whatever, use your critical thinking skills and actually talk to a black person. A lot of these people are coming from places where I don't really know. Again, one other gentleman I spoke with, he was saying that he was like, you know, I can't defend people who say F the police. And I said, do you understand why people say that, though? Do you understand why people are rioting? Because the only time they pay attention to us is when we riot. Because at the police, they're saying that because how many years they've been treated cruelly by them, how many injustices have been, you know, just, okay, we just gonna keep it pushing. Like, because they're at this point, sometimes they seem like nobody can touch them. Like, nobody can touch them. And I was like, do you understand that? And so the gentleman said, he was a white gentleman. He said, no, I couldn't understand that because it hasn't been my experience. And I said, okay, I hear your heart. However, because it's not your experience and you can't resonate with that, it's not your place to judge people on how they choose to react to a situation, to invalidate their experiences. That's not your place. That's not your job, because that's not your experience. You don't understand, so keep your mouth shut. And so he was saying that that was fair, and that the only reason why this was brought to his attention was because people were rioting, because people were setting things on fire. Isn't that a shame? So you didn't know about the gentleman who was killed, who's basically choked to death. You don't know that, but you know that people were rioting. This is telling of what's happening in America. This is telling. And the song that I wrote is telling. And I would not be surprised if 50 years from now, the song was still telling of the times in America. Still. And that would be heartbreaking. That would be a shame. That would be a disgrace. So I know this isn't my usual, music video or whatever, but I'm hoping this is helping you and freeing you to write your own song, write your own book, write about your own experiences, share your own experiences, record a video. This stuff is important. We are at this point collecting information to help other people, yes, but also to educate the people that are come after us. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows what the song could do for somebody if they find it in 50 years, and they hear it. It could be a change gonna come. It could be, I don't know, any blood, strange fruit. You know what I'm saying? It could be that for these people in the future, to remind them of where we were, where we are today. And I think that we should use our art, use our platforms, use our voices. There's so many people who are silent right now because they're afraid of people's judgment. Forget all that. I don't want to be PC. I want to be honest. And honestly, I'm pissed off. A lot of people are pissed off. Honestly, I'm heartbroken. Honestly, I'm scared. I'm scared for people protesting. I'm scared for my future children. I'm scared. I'm scared. And I feel like I have a right to be angry. I feel like I have a right to be afraid. And while I might just use that fear and anger and just take care of myself, I also might use it to create some art that would hopefully inspire and encourage somebody else, or just resonate with them, because I don't have the solve. Just like the song says, I don't have the answers. I have, I have suggestions and stuff like that. We've been had suggestions, right? But they don't be listening to us. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep creating. I hope that you do too. So until next time, you all, talk to you later. Bye.
Just trying to live, afraid to leave my house, and our kids can't just be kids. Hear the cries in the air, the coldest summer nights. Oh, I don't know where I'm living. They say land of the free. I admit that I've been ignorant, false sense of security. See the blood on pavement, the coldest summer nights. Oh, I understand it's just a song. No melody can right these wrongs. Too proud, afraid to be alone with you, but there's no ease in crowds. Hear the gunshots